Hello everyone, welcome to Mark's Finance and Fitness. Today I'm introducing a new stock that I purchased about last week, and I have 31 shares of this stock currently, and it's my speculative bet, and that stock is going to be the Tattooed Chef Company. Now the Tattooed Chef Company is a frozen foods company at the moment, and they focus on vegan and vegetarian meals. And today I'm going to go over why I bought into this stock and why I think it fits well into my portfolio. I think that everyone should allow 5% of their portfolio to be a speculative stock. So what that means is a stock that may be newer, doesn't have a lot of history, and what you're doing is you're kind of taking a gamble on this. And this is my speculative stock. All my other stocks are solid companies with great histories. But I think it's okay to take a little bit of a gamble once in a while, but only, I'd say, no more than 5% of your total portfolio. So, Tattooed Chef Company. Why did I buy into this company? About 3 months ago, I was introduced to this company by watching Jeremy's financial education channel, and that got me first interested in it. I did research over the next 3 months and did a lot of thinking about it, a lot of processing in my brain, why, what, who, when, all those things. And I finally bought into the stock because there was this opportunity for a good price this last couple of weeks, which I'll go over later. And I want to say, never buy a stock just because someone says on YouTube. Don't buy it because I say. Always do your own research. Because sometimes you're going to completely disagree once you start looking into things. There's some YouTubers and stocks that they have said that they're bullish on, where I was on the opposite end because my life experience is different from theirs and I might see things a little different. So always do your own research, and that's going to always do great, wonderful things for your purchases because you're the one that did the background work and can see the future instead of just buying into something because someone else says, and later on maybe that stock tanks and you're like, well, I should have known better because I didn't believe in that. I don't think this would have been a good stock if I would have looked into it a little bit more. So always do your own research. So the big reason why I bought this stock is because of the trend, and I don't think it's a trend no more, but of the vegetarian and vegan diets. I don't think it's a trend. I think this is here to stay, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes by. We already see major food companies integrating vegan and vegetarian options into their menu. And I don't think for a second that this is gonna go backwards at all. I have family members that have become vegan or vegetarian, and I think a lot of people are just stepping further away from meat. And so that's the number one reason. I think this has a huge future and huge potential. The second reason why I bought this company is that it's vertically integrated. That's its business model. So it's pretty much in control of everything it does, from when they're growing these food items to shipping them off to the store. They have direct contract with farmers, and this allows them to get lower prices, which is excellent. So I like that they're in control of their business. Another big thing is they're already in big name stores. Costco, Walmart, Target, probably Sam's Club. If not, they're in Walmart for sure. These are big companies. They're not going to take a risk on a company if they don't think they're going to be profitable with it. And so that is a great sign. And that leads us into demand. Have these been selling well? Yes, they have. Tattooed Chef Company was profitable in 2020. I'm on a Discord chat on Jeremy's Financial Education where people post pictures when they go to the store of the shelves where the Tattooed Chef is. So there's proof they're in these stores, but also that a lot of the time, it looks like people are buying these products, that the shelves are half empty or a quarter empty or even more. So people are buying these. I have not tried the actual food yet because, as you know, I had surgery recently. I haven't been able to get out too much, but next time I go to Costco, I'm going to buy a handful of these and give them a shot. But I've read a lot of reviews online. That's where my research came in, and most people are in love with this product, with Tattooed Chef and all the products that they put out there. Currently, they have 38 SKUs, which is, the different products. By the end of the year, they want to be up to 62 SKUs. That's the type of growth you want to see in a new company. That's excellent. They're growing their products. They're trying to get more diversified out there. And they're also trying to get into other grocery stores, talking about Smith's, Albertsons, stores that I think really hold true potential for their profits. That's another reason why I bought in, is they haven't gotten into that yet. When they do, I think it'll really take off. They also just really started focusing on marketing, which I think is very important, and I hope they continue to push that very hard. Another potential for this company is they're only in the frozen foods area. What if they get into snacks or drinks? I think I've heard that they might get into snacks someday too. That's going to further diversify this stock, which is exactly what I want as a shareholder. And so that's something that I can really see them doing. They do have meatless options. I think they have pepperoni right now that's meatless. They need to do more of that because that's very trendy right now. It's very popular, and I can see them getting into maybe restaurants someday with that, or fast food chains, or who knows what. Let's look at some financials. Their balance sheet has $200 million in cash and cash equivalents. That's huge for a company this size. That's very healthy. Their assets equal $266.7 million versus their liabilities at $32.3 million. That's a 12.11% liability versus assets. They're killing it. They have very low liabilities and they have a lot of assets, a lot of cash on hand. That's fantastic. That's what I want to see as a stockholder. They currently only have $2 million in long-term debt. That's nothing. They could pay that off easily if they wanted to. And I love that they're low in debt. That's how I like to live my life, and I like to see this company's doing the same thing. And their expected growth year over year is 49% in revenue. They want to grow 49% a year in revenue. That's what they're projecting. That's excellent. That's exactly what you want to see in a growing new company. It might slow down as they get bigger and bigger because it's hard to produce those types of numbers every year, but right now they're on track to do that. As I said, recently their stock kind of crashed. It went down about 11%, so I feel I need to talk about this. They announced that their CFO resigned, and that seemed to send people into a selling frenzy, which was good for us that really believe in the stock and want to buy into it. That's what led me to get into it, really. Like I said, I have 31 shares at an average of about 17.8 some cents. I started buying at the $19 level, and then I got in at the 15-16 when it dropped. But people really overreacted. The important thing to remember is the CEO and the girl, I forget her name, that kind of creates these food items, handles the marketing. They're the ones that created this company. The CFO didn't. And he probably left for another opportunity. Who knows? They'll get another CFO. What I want to see is that the creators that, created this and have the passion for it are the ones that are still running it. That's what's important. And so I don't care that the CFO left. What I care is that the people that are passionate about this are the ones that are continuing to run it. Also, speculative SPAC stocks in general have been downtrending. So people are getting out of those and probably more into the long-term company stocks. So that's kind of probably contributed to a little bit of their stock dipping. But that just left it for an awesome, amazing buying opportunity for me. And I'll be buying at $20 or below in the coming weeks or months if it stays below that. But I think it will probably trend back over $20 by end of the year sometime, between summer and end of the year if it doesn't sooner. I see the stock has huge growth potential. I think it could be the next Beyond Meat. I think it's becoming a household name. The more people buy these, the more it's going to become a part of their routine, especially if you're in that vegan vegetarian diet. There's not a lot of options out there at this moment. I talk to people and it's hard for them to really, find things at the store. So this is a huge opportunity that they're getting into. And I think at $5, I think is about what they cost for a bowl. That's a cheap meal if you think about it. It's not bad. So people could probably buy these for their meals during the week or whatever might be the case. And I see this becoming something that becomes a part of people's household when it comes to the food that they carry. And the more they do that, the more it's just going to get the marketing out there and other people buying it. So I'm excited to try them myself and see what they're all about. Let's see. I think that about wraps it up. This is my spec stock. Again, I recommend only playing with about 5% of your money. I've done my research. I wasn't really into food. The only other company I have that's kind of in that realm is Coca-Cola. But I wanted another one because I think food is, always going to be around, and I wanted something that I could see huge growth in, and I think this vegan vegetarian thing is only going to get bigger and bigger. It's not going away. And somebody like the Tattooed Chef that I'm looking at their different options and how creative they are, and the reviews that people really like, and their financials, and just everything else I talked about, I think this is an excellent speculative stock to get into, and I'm excited to see what it does over the next couple years. Again, I always hold for the long term. Something very bad would have to happen for me to pull out of this company or any company, but a CFO, resigning is not one of those. So I think this company has a huge potential. I'm excited to see what happens. I hope I can buy a lot of stock before it goes back above that $20 range. It's now back up to about my average, the $17.80 some cents. And with that said, I'd like to hear what kind of speculative stocks you guys might hold, and how much of your portfolio is it? Do you think you have too much of it, or do you have nothing and you want to get into something? Always do your research, but I'd like to hear what you guys are buying out there that aren't those companies with big long histories. What are your spec stocks? I like to hear, because I think it's very fascinating what people think, what companies people think are going to really do well. So with that said, I think next video I'll go over my portfolio. I haven't done that in a while, and see what it's been doing, what it's been up to. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next time on Mark's Finance and Fitness.